what was confusing about why he called himself a populist to you? Because I find that confusing too, and I think you did a good job of pointing out that the policies he support doesn't really support like the people that populists claim to support.
Yeah, I mean, this is not unique to Charlie Kirk. This is a big pivot that a lot of American right wingers, Republicans basically have done in the last year or two, I think, especially, right? So, it kind of comes out of the Trump presidency, but like there's been a big, a lot of it's happened like even more recently than that. So, Donald Trump himself is obviously one of the main examples of a conservative who really likes to posture about being a populist, but there are also people like Josh Hawley or J.D. Vance, who Charlie Kirk is really into. He's interviewed him a few times, or even like, and this is where it gets particularly weird to me, like even people like Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio, a lot of them, will play this game that they'll start to call themselves populists now. They'll use the word corporate as an insult, that like I've seen Ted Cruz, say like, complain about, the corporate media, like he's a guest on Democracy Now! In 2005. It's bizarre. But, and so when the people who set up the debate, the town circle, when they, we were talking about doing something like this, when they suggested Charlie Kirk as somebody I could do it with, I've got to admit, my first reaction was, I don't know why, right? Like why him, right? And it seemed kind of random, but then the more I thought about it, the more I realized I actually did want to debate Charlie Kirk specifically because of this point that, like, because he has done this pivot, where he calls himself a populist, he says he's not like one of those old, corporate Republicans, all this stuff. And even though, like everybody else that I just mentioned, I mean, he's just a pure Reaganite, in his actual policy preferences. And I think this is a point that's really worth making, right?